Welcome. I am Miss Jennifer Samuel Chance, and I also go by Miss Jen Jen. And this is
Lisa Noble. I go by Lisa.
okay, great. And we are partnered together to show those of you out there in the world how to flaunt your stage presence.
Yes.
Now, I am an executive speech performance coach, and I help leaders, visionaries really make sure that whenever they step on stage and give speeches, they have audiences hanging on the edge of their seats.
And I am Lisa Noble. I am an executive brand artisan, and I am the artisan behind influential entrepreneurs who are the face of the brand. And they are the best at what they do. And they use my Flaunt Your Brand methodology to stand out and show out boldly.
Great.
Mhm.
So today we want to share with you some more tips and techniques as far as flaunting your stage presence to the best of our ability. Today we're going to focus on what's going on beyond the logo, which means how do you maximize your visual branding. So I'm going to ask Lisa a couple of questions, some of which are near and dear to my heart, to make sure that as a person that's a business owner and I need to work on my branding, and those of you that may be watching this, the same thing too. What tips and wonderful nuggets could you give us to help us with our branding? So here's the first question. What motivated you first to really focus on helping business owners really help with their visual branding and
Well,
change it?
when I had my clients, they would come to me and they were having problems really standing out. And a lot of it was because when they first came to me, they really were not having a cohesive brand. And when I say cohesive, that means like on all your channels, you have your logo, you have the same colors, you have the same kind of messaging. And a lot of times, people are just kind of like all over the place. And I even struggle with it when I first started really calling myself a business owner. And I don't know if you did as well, Jennifer, but just really coming up with who you are as a brand, because that's what makes you memorable. Like, I'm all about flaunting your brand. Today I have my flaunt your brand earrings on. I mean, just having an attitude, as well as having a specific color palette. If you see anything that has flaunt your brand, even our flaunt your stage presence, it has a certain way and a flow. So you really need to come up with that. And I found that a lot of my clients were struggling with that. So it really gave me a focus to say, this is something that I know that I can help them with, because design and branding is what I've been doing for several years. So really, I know that I can bring the attitude, the focus of their brand, the goals of their brand. It all can come together within their look and feel.
Great. And like you said, I'm also a business owner too. And that's not my expertise, visual branding.
Yeah.
So I struggled tremendously right at the beginning of my business because I had no clue about colors or anything like that. I'm still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But so I see for somebody like you that that's your natural gift. I applaud you,
Mm-hmm.
and also too can think of how much time and energy that you save people, really, and
That
money
part,
too,
yeah.
because it's easier. So tell me this: when you have a consistent visual brand presence, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to read this question because I want to make sure I get it right. How on
Hey,
earth does your
Jay.
visual brand presence that's consistent? How does it impact the business owner's ability to attract the right client?
Well, first of all, it shows that you're not fly by night. So if you invest in your brand, hey Alicia, yes, flaunting the brand is dope. um, so when you have a consistent look and feel, everybody knows McDonald's. Everywhere you go within the world, hey Teresa, everywhere you go in the world, it's gonna have the same look and feel. You could go to Russia, they may have different things on the menu, but it's very recognizable. We know we can trust that brand because we've grown up with it. It's something that makes us feel comfortable to spend our money, because we know if you're into Big Macs or whatever, we know that's going to be something that's tasty to us. So we want to be that kind of same consistent, cohesive brand, from everything from our logo to our social media channels. And if we're speakers or we are trying to leverage speaking, we want to put that into any kind of our media kits. We want to put it into our banners that we have up. If we have a table, it's like you have to bring bring it into every aspect of your brand and show it wherever you go.
Great. So it's basically your trust factor,
Yes.
knowing that when people see you, they see your brand, they see your logo, they see your colors, they can absolutely trust in your service, trust that the service is obviously, high quality, so that they don't have to worry about anything.
Right. And
So you talked to, go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna add on, like, it also tells a story about what you're doing. When we're talking about storytelling, I know that you do it as far as words and speaking, but your brand should also tell a story about what you're doing. We don't want to get out there and show the wrong colors. When you think of a banks are almost always in blue. There are some that are in green, but blue is a real trust color, like you were saying. It shows strength, and it's something that people can trust, that they will hold on to your money.
Great. And I know that even though you talked about colors, there's way more to all of that when it comes to building the brand. So that you want to make sure it matches your personality,
Yeah,
but also too becomes a brand that people can trust.
but
So tell me, what led you as an individual business owner yourself to the importance of actually leveraging and increasing and making your speaking skills better than they were before? How do you actually do that to lift your brand and elevate your brand?
well, first, I recognized others in my industry, as well as other coaches and, people around my industry were, they were doing these speaking engagements. And I saw the power in it, the impact, and how they could get in front of their audience. We've all struggled to get in front of our audience, and we were using social media and things like that. But it's nothing like standing in front of your audience and actually having them to get to know you and trust you, and being able to speak to them on another level other than just behind a camera. I felt that that was something that I definitely needed in my business, and I'm sure others feel this way. That it was something that was like the next level. In order to get in front of a higher end client, I needed to come out from behind my computer, which it unnerves me a little bit because I've been behind the scenes, behind people's brands and helping them to stand out. So I really felt like this was my next step so that I could make an impact. And
And how's it been so far?
Jennifer Samuel Chance has been working with me, and I really, it really has. I was in a summit not too long ago, and I actually got like 6 people to contact me from speaking at that summit because they found that I had an expertise that they possibly needed. And she helped me to you really helped me to create a whole speech. I have a signature speech, y'all. That I never had before. And I still am nervous, but I have a guide that can help me to move along my speech. Thank you, Nashaya. It is something that I have been working on, and Jennifer has really been helping me. It's been amazing having that confidence to say I have a signature speech that I can actually talk to people about and pitch in order to get me more business. But yes, I had like 6 people contact me in regards to my archetype quiz, which is another thing that we should talk about on another day. But it
Mhm.
really is a tool that I think people really want to get involved with, and they found it exciting, so they contacted me.
Great. And thank you for all the praise as far as helping you get to where you need to go.
You deserve
What I will say is this, thank you. But I say this because a lot of people that I do meet, especially if they tend to be on the shy, introverted
it.
side,
Yeah.
hesitate to go out and speak. I don't do it like you. And I always say this, I don't want you to do it like me. I want you to do it like you. Because people
Mhm.
buy from who they trust and also who they can relate to. And if you're out there speaking live, I think is best, but sometimes it may need to be online. Then people can
Yeah.
have a reason to plug into you, to listen to you, get an idea of how you are. And from that, they make the decision yes, I want to do business, or no, I don't. But
Mhm.
it's far more likely if they have a very personal connection with you, which they will feel when they hear you speak, than any other. So, regardless of whether you work with me or anybody else, I just can't stress enough, business owners out there, that if you're not doing speaking, and I say structured speaking, because Lisa just
Structure.
mentioned the signature speech.
Yeah.
And what it means is a specific format and a framework so that your audiences will get all the information they need about whatever it is you're talking about
Hmm.
without it being too overloading or not enough information. And it's a
Hmm.
nice little package that you give to them as far as information and your personality and trust and credibility. And once you have that, that will shorten the curve as far as
Hmm.
them deciding whether to work with you or not, or work with your organization. So it's kind of one of those tools, and it's beyond having a sales team. It's in
Yes.
addition to having a sales team. I know many of you may be with organizations or have your own, where you have a sales team and you think that's their job to go out there and speak and promote. They do.
Hmm.
But I've time and time again, I can't even count how many times I've had it, where I've worked with organizations where the leader has a sales team, has a marketing team, has a PR team, has all of that.
Yes.
But when they start to speak, they tend to speak at different, maybe, I would say, networking groups, so to speak, where
Hmm.
decision makers are.
Yeah.
I mean, it just widens the field so that people really, really get an idea of what the organization is from the top down, not just a salesperson or a marketing person. So it really is quite important to go ahead and just flaunt your brand by getting out there and speaking.
Flaunt your brand,
Okay,
y'all.
I'm going to stop now because I can talk about this all day. Anyway,
Anywho,
thank you very much for those of you that just tuned in or have been tuning in with us, or those of you are watching this afterwards.
yes.
We just want to make sure that we do as professionals in expertise to make sure that you flaunt your brand and flaunt your stage presence the best way you possibly can. So keep tuning in
Right.
because we're going to be doing these live events weekly and giving you bits and nuggets. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me a DM or Miss Lisa Noble a DM. We'll answer your questions. And if you want to interact with us further or perhaps work with us, we'll take those
Yeah.
DMs too.
Well, oh, we'll take those.
Oh,
But
yeah, we'll take
I wanted to ask those who are on, because we have a few people on, did they have any questions into regards of what we talked about, or any questions for either one of us before we go? So you guys can go ahead and type, and me and Jenna kind of chat for a bit. I just wanted to say also, another thing is I'm starting to look for conferences, podcasts, and different types of speaking engagements, because I think a lot of times we shy away. I definitely was one of those who was shy away, and I've been asked to speak, and I would find every excuse not to because I didn't have the confidence, nor I think I needed the coaching as well for me to feel comfortable. Um, so that I won't be there shaking or hyperventilating and not being able to speak. That was what made me go to Jen. When we met, I was like, I know that I need this. So you guys need to put this into a plan. If you're not already an expert speaker, you might be, but you have the branding behind you to push yourself out there, because people are going to look at your brand when they ask you to speak. They're going to want to see if you have any you have followers. They're going to want to see if your perceived brand matches the person that you are. So definitely put this on your schedule as something that you need to do. Nashaya says, I use pink for my brand colors. Who does that type attract, or what does that say about my brand? So a lot of times pinks are a version of a red. So it can mean many different things. A lot of times it can be kind of like love, or it can be kind of I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't have them all memorized, you guys, but like pinks they can be passionate, they can work as excitement. So it's just about how you use it and what you use it with. So if you want to talk about it and share, I can look it up for you and I'll let you know. But off the top of my head, I can't think of what pinks do. I know reds can be sometimes aggressive, whereas pink is not like that at all. So it's kind of like more of it's a softer color. So we can talk about it. Any more questions?
Great question.
Yeah,
Thank you, Shaya.
yes, great question. Yes, passion and excitement does work for you.
That's a whole other workshop.
I
I'm
think
sorry, I'm
passion and
being
excitement works for all of us, actually. But yeah.
okay.
Any more?
So, are there any more questions before we sign off for today?
Yeah. And
Feel free
we
to
are so
ask us.
thankful that you guys came on. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us. All right. Well, we're gonna
Okay.
close it out.
Looks like that's it for the questions for that. Oh, no, yes, no. Oh, we have some smiley faces. Thank you.
Those are laughing faces.
And she's laughing. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in today. And like I say, just keep tuning in because we'll be giving these workshops. Oh, wait a minute. We have Alicia. She slipped in there. She says she uses earth tones, gold, green. What does that say?
Yes, so that is very much high-end colors. Earth tones are very warm and trusting. Um, but the way you use them, Alicia, you're showing like a high-end, more modern feel for your brand, which I think really works well for your high-end photography. So the earth tones make it so that your images really stand out because the earth tones kind of move to the background so that your work can really thrive. So I really feel that those colors are really vibrant and they work for you. They're not vibrant, but they make your work vibrant. So I really think that they work for what you're trying to do. Any other
Great.
questions?
I think that might be it. That might be it. Okay, so like we were saying before, and I was saying before, the colors are so important, but it's part of a larger scheme of things.
Yes.
So Miss Lisa is the absolute expert as far as figuring out, yes, colors work a certain way, but also what is your intent as far as your ideal dream client?
Mhm.
What's your personality? There's a lot that goes to it.
Mhm.
So I think many of you, if you have a lot of those questions around that area, you'd probably very much so benefit from a conversation with her because I've learned a lot,
Yes.
and I don't feel I know much of anything compared to what she probably has, right off the top of her head.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much today for tuning in. Like we said before, if you have any questions, any ideas as far as like maybe some questions that you want us to cover in the
Mhm.
future, then go ahead and shoot those to us, DM us, and we will be more than happy to oblige.
Bye, guys.
Anything to say, Lisa?
No, I think we've said it all. I will see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.